Live from Rialto, California, Mark and Andre present the Mark and Andre Podcast Show, the only film, entertainment, and conspiracy theory show on Spreaker.com. And here are your hosts, Mark and Andre. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another installment of the Mark and Andre Podcast Show. And for those who are curious, yes, those are real fireworks we pull off every single time.
Every time.
Every single time. With me alongside with me is my co-host, Andre Gaynor. Andre, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm awake, guys. I'm awake!
He's finally at 100% capacity.
Yes.
Usually, you're a little bit more drowsy than you are conscious.
Using supplements to remain conscious. Yeah. So I'm very happy. I'm very excited. I'm ready to do the show.
You got to watch out for that because they might, Spreaker.com might be testing for production-enhancing supplements. It's a real.
Yeah, I'm shooting up roids instead of 5-hour energy.
To make a better show, yeah. I don't know, whatever supplements that enhance your performance, I'm all for it.
We have to be as genetically modified as possible to speak to each other. My vocal cords need to be as strong as possible.
How are you this week?
I'm good, man. The show is doing great. I've actually gotten a day of sleep. I have not slept for like a really long time. I'm probably getting 4 hours sleep every day for about 3 weeks.
Wow.
So I finally got a day of sleep, and I'm like, Did
you see that Seinfeld episode with me where Kramer only had like half-hour, 20-minute naps every like 4 hours?
Nah, I didn't see that one.
Anyway, that's
I can pretend I did, and I'd be like, oh yeah, dude. It was so fun because Kramer, Kramer does Kramer. You know how Kramer is. Kramer did Kramer.
Kramer's crazy. Tonight's Mark and Andre Podcast Show is brought to you by none other than my proud sponsor, Game Swappers. Game Swappers. Buy, sell, and trade your retro games and next-gen consoles. That includes Xbox One and PS4. You can come into contact with Game Swappers via Instagram at GAMESWAPPERS. That's GAMESWAPPERS. Game Swappers. Buy, sell, and trade. Keep in mind, guys, that if you do share the Mark and Andre Podcast Show or the Retro Collecting 101 podcast, where I give you tips and tricks on how to amass a great retro collection, or the Pay-Per-Review Wrestling Podcast, where I give you WWE news and analysis, you'll be able to get 10% off towards your trade-ins. Actually, 10% more towards your trade-ins, or you'll be able to get 10% off towards your retro game purchases. Simply take a screenshot of of the share that you've done on any form of social media, and then just show anyone working on clock at Game Swappers, and then you'll be able to get the 10% off or 10% more. Ooh. The choice is yours.
Choose wisely.
I tried to do the Olmec impression from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
The giant rock.
Remember, the choice is yours and yours alone.
Please wait for me to complete the question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Every time some dumbass kid like jumped the gun.
In 1884.
Christopher Columbus. That is a stupid response. Please let me finish the fucking question.
I have not asked the question yet. What is wrong with you fucking kids? He's all getting mad. The head's moving forward as a kid.
All that hard work for a bunch of like British knights, Anyway, so the first topic that we had at hand today on tonight's Mark and Andre show, the only film, entertainment, and conspiracy theory show on Spreaker.com, Ghostbusters 2016. You and I saw this last Friday, and this is what I'm honestly going to say.
That's already bad.
Yeah. Taken into comparison of Ghostbusters 1984, this movie is a different iteration of Ghostbusters. It's a new timeline. This is totally not canon to the previous Ghostbusters movies. My honest opinion of this movie, I had to give it a 6 out of 10.
Wow. That's too high for me.
Yeah.
That's way too fucking high. Why a 6?
Let's do this. Let's give it a review of it first, spoiler free.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah, I know.
No, don't watch it so we can spoil it.
Yeah, exactly.
No one wants to see it.
So what I got from it was that it was more ad-libs than actual progression of the plot.
Yes.
I felt that the character development was not rushed at all. It actually took a long time for them to actually find their identity as Ghostbusters. and I really felt that the quirky character, I forget the young lady that plays her, I felt that she was a little too over the top. Like, no actual person would act like that.
No person.
Yeah.
And for her to play the role of the eccentric genius of the group, or the eccentric inventor, I mean, I guess they were trying to go with this type of Salvador Dali. She's a weirdo, but so inventive that no one can question her logic.
Yes.
But I never got that from her character. I got it. I got this just, she's an actor trying to be quirky. Like, she really pulled me out of the reality of the movie.
Exactly. There was no special, I thought that every time she just said any of the lines where she was like, oh, this is just a mercury ion reactor fused in with it. And like every time she started spewing out any of this technological mumbo jumbo, I felt that it was just part of the script. I didn't feel there was no love and attention to it.
Or it really did seem like she doesn't know what she just said.
Exactly.
It's like phonetic reading, you know, like it didn't seem like she had an understanding of what all of these scientific terms meant in comparison to one another. Mm-hmm. It really just sounded like she threw a bunch of words together. I know it was in the script, but it's just like the way she recited the lines. There was no authenticity to her character.
Exactly.
She really didn't have to be there.
Yeah, and with that being said, too, to actually add to your point as well, is that when you actually say so much, like, less is more in the sense of what I'm going to say now, because when they started describing all the new inventions that they had, it just became nothing but like nonsensical crap that the general audience isn't going to understand. Mm-hmm. And so throughout this whole movie, I felt really detached. I felt like it was more of a comedy first than it was an actual story about poltergeist capturing.
Very true.
And during the third act, where a certain character actually becomes possessed, I just felt like they jumped the shark when they actually did the maneuver at the end of the third act, to where it was just you saw my reaction. I was totally disassociated with the movie as soon as that happened.
Right. And here's the crazy thing: I knew from the moment I saw who was cast as this character. Yeah, I was like, he has a way bigger role than that.
Exactly. They're not going to just cast Liam Hemsworth for...
Come on.
For him to be nothing but a secretary.
It just... Come on, guys. And... Because we're going to just do a review of the 2016 film, and then we'll talk about comparisons. So we're just going to start... Okay. So in regards to just this film, by itself, no comparisons, it's sloppy as hell. It is a very sloppy film. Mm-hmm. From a cinematic perspective... Very boring shots. We're not getting anything. This film had no soul at all. It really was this hollowed out corpse walking around. Mm-hmm. And if I recall, just me and you, mm-hmm. we weren't really laughing. No. Others were laughing, but they were laughing at very silly things like fart jokes, Yeah. But there was the comedy itself was very dry and almost breaks the reality of the universe that we're watching.
The only time it became hilarious was during ad-libs. And ad-libs are completely dug into the plot. Think of it as like a cut. Mm-hmm. It's totally not part of the body in the first place, but it's there. Right. That's what the ad-libs felt like to me. Right. Is that, okay, they're just talking about Patrick Swayze in Point Break, and then they're bringing up him in other movies. Yeah. I felt that dragged along, a little joke about that. But then I also felt like all these other, like the scene where all four of them, the camera lowers and you see all four Ghostbusters, and then both of Melissa McCarthy's character and Kristen Wiig's character, mm-hmm. They both say, "Let's do this." Oh wait, was I supposed to? Well, I'll just say it this time. And I'm just, okay, that's great for the trailer and everything, but crap, like that just... It's cheap comedy. It is cheap comedy, and it's breaking the script. And mm-hmm. usually, ad-libbing is fine if you are using it in the context of your character, based on the reality that you are in. To develop the plot. Exactly. If you're pushing the plot forward with your joke, then it's fine. You know, like Kevin Smith, he didn't allow improvisation in his films till much later in his directing career, mm-hmm. but it was only because Seth Rogen was so good at it. Exactly. Seth Rogen could improvise as his character. And in that realm, he didn't use jokes that weren't in the context of the film. So in this case, we are seeing the worst case scenario of a bunch of great comedians
using jokes outside of the context of their reality.
Yeah,
that Patrick Swayze joke was awful. I mean, it was funny.
Dragged on.
It did drag on. And then, the one scene where he's talking about, showing them the clips of the illustrations of the possible Ghostbusters logo.
Oh, yes.
They said most of that was improv. So the whole my cat thing, and he's like, "Oh, you have a cat? Oh, no, his name is Mike. Mike Hat.
Oh yeah,
Mike Hat. Your cat. Well, what about your cat? Oh, well, he's at home with my mom.
Yeah,
like what?
So just imagine seeing that in the theater and be like, well, what does this have to do with
anything?
We
didn't go forward at all in the script. There are too many moments in the film where we're just sitting perfectly still and there's nothing, like we're not making any progress. Yeah. We're not getting any closer to a solution.
If at any point of the times we actually laughed was during some of the clever ad-lib, some of the clever ad-libbed lines. But it's just that we'll
So what you're getting at is the script itself wasn't funny.
Yes, exactly.
The script wasn't funny, so they kind of did have to rely on the ad-libs, but unfortunately the ad-libs broke the context of the film.
Exactly.
And it's just it was a frustrating film.
Exactly.
So is that spoiler territory if we talk about we'll just say, okay, there's an action scene in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And
where it totally does not go, and keep in mind that this movie is to the audience listening live. The weapon systems that they use in this Ghostbusters movie is non-canon to the Ghostbusters weapons that they use in 1 and 2.
They're literally guns and grenades.
Guns, like ghost grenades, and keep in mind that they barely caught a ghost like in the beginning of the movie, but now they know how to manifest it and like actually keep it in a capsule and and keep them, that's just something to note. It's just that these weapons that they use, like with Egon, I think crossing the streams, that phrase, should always be quintessential with the Ghostbusters movie. Harold Ramis played Egon. He wrote the movie. Harold Ramis did.
Yes.
And yet we're not using any of his, there's no Easter eggs for that at all, but no, they can actually use these blasters, which you originally had with a backpack and an actual like vacuum hose type of thing. Now you have it in like a 9mm pistol type of formation. And so one of the quirky character has her little action scene where she's all able to twist and bend these ghosts and actually like demobilize them without capturing them.
Right. They don't. There is no emphasis on capturing in that whole action scene.
It's
destroying and killing ghosts.
It sounds like we're nerding out, but it's a matter of consistency, and it's a matter of
if you're going to put the Ghostbusters name on it, have some consistency, right?
Yeah.
But I figured it out.
Yeah.
As after it's been a week since we've seen the film, and it's resonated with me. I've marinated with the ideas and what I saw.
Yeah.
And I get it. I finally get the film. The film is literally the anti of the original film, all the way through.
I remember that point you made in the
it's a complete
after we
reversal.
Left. Yeah,
it's not just genders, but just the entire concept of the film. Everything is backwards. It relies too much on ad-libs. Anything related to Ghostbusters, it disrespects. Mm-hmm. There is no respect to Ghostbusters. As a matter of fact, it's like they hated Ghostbusters, and they're really like trying to lash out at the fans of Ghostbuster. Yeah. I almost feel like they refilmed some stuff after the backlash of the trailer just to mess with people.
Yeah.
Because there are so many things that they reference from the old movie and they destroy it on purpose.
Exactly.
They do like so much damage to the Ghostbusters name.
Yeah. And
I'm not even getting into the fact that the cast isn't exactly what people expected them to be. That was too PC. The cast was female. This isn't even the issue of the cast being female. It's beyond that. It's far beyond that. Because if you put 4 males in the same film, same roles. Yeah,
you would say it's a bad Ghostbusters movie.
Nightmare of a movie. It would be worse. It would be worse, actually. So, in this case, it was just, it was so hard to sit through. And I was so surprised. Because we're sitting there and people are laughing. The fuck are you laughing at? There's nothing funny happening right now, Oh, you think puke is funny? You think farts are funny? It was just a fart. And nobody's ever, fallen for that joke before. And she's like, well, you thought a fart was funny? Yeah, because it came from the front. Yeah. Now we have a queef joke.
Yeah.
Oh, what is happening? The wonton soup? Why are we...
the whole running gag with that was just terrible. But, okay. So we gave a great synopsis on what we felt about this new Ghostbusters 2016.
Wait, no, not yet.
Okay,
the score sucks. We have to hit everything.
Oh yeah.
The score is lifeless.
It's more of a soundtrack, not even a...
Yeah, it's more of a soundtrack than a score, because nothing matches the tone of the event that we're experiencing.
Yeah.
And that really throws you out of the film experience. But then I don't feel like I can speak on anything, because our audience was loving the film.
It was a big Sony commercial as well.
Yes,
but,
it was.
I mean, if you're Sony, the producing company, you have to put your cameras, your cell phones into it. I don't blame them, but to see it so obvious, I mean, there was even plugs to like their offshoot brands. Like I saw plugs for the Lion King play, which they own. Mm-hmm. I seen plugs for Blu-ray.
Yes.
I saw several plugs. It's just
using their Bio, Sony Bio.
Yeah.
Tons of product placement. Last note. Leslie Jones.
Yes.
Leslie Jones's character. She just recently, fell under a huge amount of controversy.
She did.
I didn't research it, but I'm just going to give my perspective. Her character in the film was very offensive. Her character was, I'm going to say, essentially a coon. She was cooning the whole film. I don't want to, the term is strong, but that is the best description that I can give for her character.
Yeah.
And Leslie is hilarious. She is a phenomenal actress, and she's a phenomenal comedian. Mm-hmm. And I feel like her material was just not good for her. Yeah, it's not good for her image.
And it's not her fault either, because when you're presented with such a great franchise, such as the Ghostbusters, and when you're given a script as prestigious as the Ghostbusters name,
right?
How do you not say no?
Exactly.
How do you look at the script and be like, okay, well, the script isn't good, but let me perform the hell out of it.
Right.
Which she did. She did it to the best of her ability.
Here's the crazy part. Now, me saying she's a coon was one thing, but she actually is the best character in the movie. Because she has character. She's the only person that acts like a human being in the world of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Compared to Kristen Wiig's character, who's just this super...
Like, I don't want to be here, but I have to.
Yes. Melissa McCartney is this it's like these weird...
overzealous...
Everyone's cartoony. There we go. Every one of their characters is, like, cartoony. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The eccentric... I forgot her name, but the eccentric, the engineer. She's also the most cartoony. It's like crazy.
Yeah, she was borderline on the actual like outrageous side.
Right, but they were all that outrageous except for Leslie's character. Leslie was grounded in reality. Hey y'all, I saw a ghost and I'm scared.
And her characteristic, no, I'm sorry to cut you off, but her character is the most realistic. Yes. Being an outlandish African American woman, I could spot a ton of those any which way I go.
There's an authenticity to her character.
Exactly.
It's just painful how far they pushed that identity.
Mm-hmm.
But she was the best character in the movie.
Yeah, because there was actually there was a lot more depth to her backstory.
Yes.
You kind of get the wheels just start already rolling with Kristen Wiig's character and Melissa McCarthy's because of their pre-existing issues that they had.
Yes.
But the last thing I can say about this Ghostbusters movie is how easily forgetful it was to me.
Yes.
Because now I just forgot a majority of the movie, and usually with good films, I'll rewatch them.
Right.
With good films, I'll rewatch. I took you to see Interstellar. I went to see Batman. I just went to see The Dark Knight 3 times. I saw The Dark Knight Rises 3 times.
Yes,
Godzilla twice.
Yes.
Like, I'll rewatch movies in the theater.
Yeah, because it's worth the experience of going through again. Because you'll find depth and layers that you missed the first time, the initial watch.
Yeah.
There is no new layer you're going to find watching this movie again.
Not at all.
It's a one shot, and you never have to experience it again.
I bet you a lot of critics, and I haven't even read the reviews for a lot of critics, but I can pretty much guarantee you that there's a point. There's all the critics are going to say that one scene in the third act is when they jump the shark.
Oh, absolutely.
So
wait. This is my last note, and I'll shut up about
it.
Yeah,
and after that, you could get your final thought on the movie, and then we'll draw comparisons for the old one.
I'm not for the feminist debate right now, but god damn it, it was a feminist film.
Yeah.
Full-fledged feminist film. Mm-hmm. I mean, any male character in the movie was a coward, an idiot, or an asshole. There was no good male role in the film. And I see the concept like, a lot of people have said, well, now you know what it feels like. That's fine. But in this scenario, it's cartoonish.
Yeah.
Remember, every character is a cartoon. So these guys are woefully dumb. They're the worst kind of coward. Oh, I pooped myself. You know, those kind of jokes.
Yeah.
Are you the mayor's an idiot and he requires the help of his female assistant to even get things done?
Played by Andy Garcia, who does a great job at being an idiot.
Oh yeah, he does. But you see a lot of feminine empowerment, and there's nothing wrong with it. But why was it so on the nose?
There's a lot of emphasis on it.
Too much emphasis on it. And I don't know if this is spoiler territory, but they used a feminist attack to win.
Oh yeah, they did.
Like, come on.
Self-defense, like a feminist self-defense mechanism.
Let's shoot a guy in the nuts, and that'll save the day. Oh my God!
So, like the poltergeist itself had genitalia down there
to shoot.
You shoot a ghost in his poltergeist penis. I don't get that. Anyway, what is your final thought to take away from this segment before we draw comparisons to the... actually, before we compare and contrast the 1984 Ghostbusters versus the 2016 Ghostbusters?
The film wasn't necessary, and it was a cash grab. It was more obvious than any film I've seen recently.
Yeah.
This was the most obvious cash grab film I've ever seen.
And to play on your point, before we go into the compare and contrast, is that it would have been a much more emphasized cash grab if the older cast, the original cast, would have been in this movie. It would have been so obvious that it wouldn't even have to hit you with a frying pan and an elephant in a room. It would be so apparent, so obvious you could see it light years away. Ghostbusters 1984. We just recently saw this movie before we actually started this podcast. Wow, a breath of fresh air. So this movie starts off. You start off with this movie in the unknown.
Yes.
But then you're immediately immersed into characters. You're immediately introduced to these characters that have backgrounds that are. You already have characters that are already into the Ghostbusters idea.
Yes.
And everyone else that comes along comes through appropriately.
Yes.
They have a developed background. Everyone has an agenda within this movie.
Their purpose is abundant. You can tell what's going on.
The dialogue is direct.
Yes.
The cinematography is done very well. There's a lot of long, consistent shots versus short scene cuts.
Yes.
What else did you have to add on to that?
I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. And for its time, we'll say that the technology was innovative.
Exactly.
Now it's hilariously cheesy and bad.
Yeah,
that's the only gripe. That's the only problem with the film now. The dialogue is perfect. And here's my issue. It's like, okay, it is a comedy. Right? And it identifies itself as a comedy, but it doesn't throw the concept of comedy at your face.
Exactly.
Most of these jokes are actually very slick, subtle things. Yeah. It can be the way a character moves. That one scene in an elevator. Very subtle. They didn't say anything crazy. They just, we have a nuclear powered device on your back. I have to turn it on right now. And that subtle moment, they're in the elevator. They turn it on and, oh shit, just because they're scared. They don't know. That's a subtle joke. It doesn't have to be, there's no telegraphed joke. It's not this, get ready for a punchline, kids. Yeah. Boom. No, a lot of it is just hitting you.
A great example would be with what Ghostbusters 2016 did was they actually handed you a buff, they actually handed you a plate.
Right.
Versus Ghostbusters 1984, you actually went to the buffet table and you waited for the guy to cut you the steak.
Yes.
They are going to give you the jokes as they come. You are not going to get them force fed to you on a conveyor belt.
Exactly. Thank you. Perfect analogy. Ridiculous analogy. In this case, it's like even just the intro alone, watching the film, they both start with similar beats. Yeah. And it's like we have somebody, minding their own business. And then they end up in a situation where they encounter the ghost.
Yeah.
In the original Ghostbusters, we have weird, spooky things taking place. And then she gets confronted by the ghost, but you don't even see it. You never see the ghost. You just see a flash of light, and she's like, oh, shit!
Anticipation builds up.
Yeah, what's going to happen? What's happening? But in the 2016 version, it's just, you get this ominous glowing woman. You already see a person, you already see a ghost, and the dude has this
freaking out.
He's getting thrown around the room.
Yeah.
They didn't use any of that. This woman did not get touched at all. As a matter of fact, she's clueless. She's walking around and all the books are moving behind her back.
Yeah.
Files and paper is flying in the air as she walks through the halls. And then last second she turns around and sees it, and that's it. That's what you get. And probably less than 10 minutes, we get all 3 Ghostbusters in a shot, and they're all just talking with one another, and you get the interactivity. It takes about 15 minutes for all 3 to interact.
Oh, for all 3 Ghostbusters before they actually acquire the assistance of Winston, took 10 minutes. I remember I told you I thought it was less than 10 minutes. Actually, it was at the 7-minute mark. I thought it was less than 5, actually.
Yeah.
Then it became 7. So in less than 10 minutes, everything's situated.
But the relationship is established, and there is a chemistry. And then when you watch the 2016 version, they're already, why did they start it this way? There's beef. They're not friends.
Animosity, and then
she just, the third one just is there. The third one's there. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm weird. And that's how it happens.
Yeah.
And now they're together, and it's just awkwardness. Then there's a slow build up to some type of, I don't know, friendship, whatever that is. Yeah. There's no chemistry though.
It's a forced friendship because she's going to have to get rid of something for Melissa McCarthy's character promises to get rid of something if Kristen Wiig's character comes along.
Right.
That's like one of those ransom things only apply to I think in action movies.
Right.
But that's just something to finish off of what you're saying. But I wanted to bring up a point to this discussion as well, and to the speaker audience. I want to let you know is that in the Ghostbusters 1984 film, the comedy takes a back seat to the actual plot that's in front, in the driver's seat. Mm-hmm. In Ghostbusters 2016, the comedy is actually in the driver's seat, passenger seat,
reverse,
both fucking back seats, and in the middle is the plot. So picture it like that, because that's exactly what it is. You have ad-libbing, you have funny, quirky things happening,
things falling, people farting.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming, and then the plot barely trickles out every so often because.
But that's a great. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
but I did it on purpose. The point is, like I said, everything's backwards. So even the characters in this new Ghostbusters world, no person in New York, period, is a real person. Mm-hmm. Everyone is a cartoon. Even the government. There's a point where the government shows up, and they're cartoons.
Yeah, they're a bunch of jokes.
They talk like this. I am a FBI agent. Like, seriously? But when we watch the original Ghostbusters, everyone's human. Mm-hmm. Because this is treated like a real deal scenario.
Exactly.
These people called these guys because they have no clue who to call. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a real fucking ghost in here. Who are you gonna call?
Yeah, exactly.
And these guys show up, and they kind of don't know what they're doing, but they're the only ones that are trying. Mm-hmm. And then it turns into the rat, the exterminator gag.
Yeah.
That's what the joke is. That's the main film joke. That's what you pitch to the big guys. Yeah, so, instead of catching rats, we're like exterminators, but we catch ghosts.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the main joke here. And they follow through with that perfectly. I feel like there's more authenticity to the entire film. It's more natural. It's more realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, as goofy as the concept is of catching ghosts, they did it with a sort of seriousness. Mm-hmm. They're trying to get paid.
Yep.
We got an idea, and nobody's doing it. We're going to get paid for doing this shit. Mm-hmm. And that's what they did. They turned it into a business.
Yeah.
3 lucky entrepreneurs come together and create some ideas.
Yeah.
Now, we'll say, when it came to them creating their technology or whatever they used to catch the ghosts, they were pretty, they cut a corner there.
Less is more in that situation.
Exactly.
Versus saying,
who gives a shit, right?
Yeah. Versus in 2016, I used a micron
barometer
retro accelerator to de-emphasize the
flux capacitor wing,
the ground fault neutral backwards retronomicon destabilizer from Sony. And none of that. When me and you heard that, we're kind of savvy and stupid mumbo jumbo like that. But I was like, what the fuck are they talking about here?
You just strung a bunch of terms together. And that's not a joke. You didn't do it as a joke. You knew your audience wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
But there's just... In the Ghostbusters 2016 case,
yeah,
they actually did put more time into showing these things at least being created, right?
Yeah, a lot more detail as far as descriptions, but I still fly with the philosophy as with Ghostbusters 1984 is that less is more.
Exactly. You don't question it. They just show up. Hey, we have suits and we have our wait, what are the proton?
Yeah,
cannon?
proton packs.
Oh, proton packs. I was gonna say proton cannon. That's from Iron Man. They have their proton packs and they have their suits and they have the logo and everything. Everything's done. We don't see that process to where they come up with the logo, where they come up with the commercial and all this other shit. But they have to somehow put emphasis on it in the 2016 version.
The suits came along as if it was like a fucking joke. Where Leslie Jones' character, I found these in the subway maintenance room here. We could keep these. That way we don't get slammed on.
Right.
And what should have been done in this Ghostbusters 2016 movie should have been at least a direct copy of 1984's Ghostbusters. A lot more suspense. A lot more...
Oh yeah, more emphasis on the play of fear. There was nothing scary about this. It's once again cartoony.
There was one
childish.
jump scare. That was not even a jump scare. I saw the last Conjuring. That shit fucking scared me.
Right.
Like, I'm tired of going to scary movies. And I saw that movie and I was like, wow. I don't know why I'm here.
That's it. Turn your ticket back in. They didn't put any emphasis on fear or scariness. It was, once again, childish. Very childish. Mm-hmm. It's like they kind of lost their audience, and I don't know who they were going for.
What was the biggest glaring point that you can see when you compare Ghostbusters 1984 and Ghostbusters 2016?
Chemistry. Simple.
Yeah.
Chemistry.
It was flawless.
It's flawless. You felt like all of these guys knew each other, and they all completed each other in a sort of way.
Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd both wrote this movie.
Right.
1984's Ghostbusters.
Right.
And you feel that. You feel the passion and the love within this movie. Mm-hmm. You know, in the Ghostbusters 2016 movie, it's just, you know, the actresses are doing their parts as far as ad-libbing, trying to make it as funny as possible, trying to make you feel like they're actually the characters that they play. You know, they play them to 100%. We're not saying the acting's bad, but it's just the script that they're given.
They need to work. Those scripts need to rewrite.
A bad actor can get a bad script.
Right.
I mean, a good actor can get a bad script.
And, there was no authenticity. You felt no connection with them, despite them saying, we're friends. You know, like, they have to tell each other that they're friends.
Yeah.
I appreciate you as my friends. Like, they have lines like that because we don't feel it.
A movie like, I'll bring a good example like this. A movie like The Nutty Professor would not have worked had it been for Eddie Murphy's crazy delivery.
Yes.
You know, like, you can get a bad script, which is The Nutty Professor, and turn it into gold.
Ace Ventura?
Norbit?
Yeah.
Even Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura. He had a shitty script. He made that work.
Fucking Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
Yeah.
You know, like, he did the best he could with that. But so these are just examples of saying that, you know what, like, you can actually turn something bad into something good. But in this case, it's just, that's a lot. It was a lot of work. Yeah, it was a lot of work, and it's not even a fault of the actresses in it. I mean, the actresses are merely an afterthought to what the plot and everything else is. I mean, they're very important chess pieces to Ghostbusters 2016, but it's just, man, when you see this movie, you'll see that, wow.
Well, yeah, and since we can't go into spoiler territory, I'll just say the antagonist of the 2016 film is bullshit. Bullshit.
I didn't even see an antagonist. I think all three of them. Well, it was loose. It was that's actually left up for debate of actually who was the actual hero of this movie.
No, antagonist, the bad guy.
I mean, okay, the antagonist, correct?
Yeah, who like he sucked, and then the concept of what he did to create this event, bullshit. Are you serious? What?
Even in the sense of the protagonist, you can't tell who actually saved the day. Like, they all did it kind of together.
But no one in particular did anything outright because they only caught one ghost in the whole film.
Yeah.
Anyway, if we cut to the 1984 version,
yes,
there is an establishment of success
of all the Ghostbusters actually doing it together.
Yeah, they're working. You see that? Okay, they catch their first ghost. oh shit, like we did it.
And then the montage goes with actually on Time magazine.
Yes.
Late night shows.
Yes.
Magazine covers. What do they do? Variety magazine. Like, what do these guys do to be successful?
Exactly. And you would say that kind of breaks reality, right? Because, you know, there'd probably be mass hysteria if everybody's like, there's ghosts in the world.
People at the modern level can associate with these guys because they're blue collar workers. These guys just capture ghosts for a living to get paid.
They're dirty like plumbers, right? Like that's the joke too. Like they're at the office and they're covered in ectoplasm. Yeah. And they're just like, fuck, more ghosts. Oh, we got another one down the block. We got another
Winston Zedmore, the character played by Ernie Hudson.
Yes.
Comes along because he needs a job.
He needs a job.
There's no he doesn't go like Leslie Jones's character says, "Well, I know New York. Y'all need me.
Y'all need a sister."
Like that doesn't happen. Like Zedmore's character, Ernie Hudson's character, comes in and says, "Well, I need a job.
You're hired."
Boom.
That was the joke. It was funny, subtle, quick, and what do we get? The next scene, they're smoking cigarettes and they're having a discussion. Yeah. There's no crazy build-up, and the chemistry is obvious. At one point, like probably 3 scenes later, he's sitting in the car with Dan Aykroyd,
and they're having a conversation,
and they're chilling, and there's no awkward tension. They've established a relationship because he's been doing this job with them. That's it, and we don't have this crazy emphasis on his blackness. They never even mentioned his blackness.
Yeah, and keep in mind, in 1984, in the 1970s. The film industry was never shy of dropping N-bombs. Like in Trading Places, the two executives
flashes up right before the credits.
Exactly, like the negotiation between the two execs in Trading Places.
The negotiation? What'd you say?
Exactly. The negotiations between the two execs in Trading Places. Mm-hmm. They associate Eddie Murphy's character with the N-bomb.
Yes.
Like the industry in the 1980s and the 1970s were never shy of dropping the N-bomb. They did it like boom, 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 like because that's what Caucasian people at that point did on a regular basis, I guess.
Well, in this sense, that just shows that there was respect in the script.
Yeah,
the script was respectful, and there are just so many subtleties that one, ground this film in a reality. But 2, also establish that this might be a different kind of reality. Yeah. Because, if there were a gang of ghosts that people could see, you think there would be mass hysteria,
National security would have been compromised.
Exactly.
Big time.
The FBI doesn't even fuck with them. They're just handling their business. And what do they do in 2016? They flip the concept and they bring the FBI in. And they go, so we're going to have to handle this. I'm not trying to go into too many details. But it's just, it goes to show, I don't know what they were trying to do. Because they didn't modernize the concept.
No.
They really didn't modernize it. They didn't push it in a new direction. What they do, they made a couple of new weapons. But they were fucking weapons. They weren't catching devices. They were bombs and guns.
A couple new villains. And then Slimer cameo. And after that, it's just its own movie. And that's where it falls short. Is that it's its own identity. It doesn't pay homage to anybody besides cameos. And
reverse homage, in my opinion. It's like it's slapping every concept of the original in the face.
Yeah, my final thought with the comparisons is that there is no comparison with these two movies. They are apple and oranges, yin and yang, tomato, Sonny Bono and Cher.
Nice.
And it's just a cash grab from Sony because they own Paramount, and I think Paramount owns the licensing to Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Andre, what final thoughts do you have? Because we still have a couple more segments to take care of.
Right, we could go on forever with this. My final thoughts. The original film was almost an accident, in a sense.
Of success.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the concept of it. It's very strange. Mm-hmm. Kind of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles type of thing. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let's put this, and that together. We'll see if we could strike gold.
Well, let's put these really strange characters in one group and make it work. Mm-hmm. And what do you know? It was a phenomenal success. And the film played it was very serious about itself. Mm-hmm. They were very on point with their paranormal information and their symbolism and everything. They were
very accurate.
Very accurate. They read these books. They must know something about the paranormal because they didn't deviate from what is commonly known.
Yeah, there was no gibberish.
Because there was love in this.
Yes.
They really wanted to tell this story, and they meant it. So that was really what it was about. And my last note, in a sense of comedy, in a comedy context, we have 3 very dynamic characters, the original 3. 3 very dynamic characters. We have Harold Ramis as the straight character, but he's
straight,
almost
stoic.
too straight.
Yeah.
That's a joke. He's too straight. He has no emotion in anything. Like, he's just, yeah, I'm about this. Oh, this is bad news. You know, like, that's it. And then we have Dan Aykroyd's character, who is the pure optimist. Like,
hopeful, wants to make it work.
Bubbly, you know, kind of ridiculous, and enthusiastic throughout. And then we have, Bill
Murray.
Bill Murray, thank you.
As Peter Venkman.
We have Bill Murray, and his character is the one that's telling the jokes. He's the only one that's technically the comedic character throughout the film, because he's saying the funny lines, whereas Harold and Dan are actually kind of playing it straight, but doing funny things. So it's like, this is kind of a crazy combo, because Bill Murray, you couldn't put another person in his spot.
No one could have gave a delivery at that time.
Exactly.
Like, Martin Short wouldn't have gave you a good delivery, and Steve Martin would have had to be more... he's better, more animated.
And Martin Lawrence wouldn't have been a good fit either.
Martin Lawrence wouldn't have been in this film.
And Lawrence Fishburne would... No,
Lawrence Fishburne as Zedmore would have been crazy.
But everybody filled their slot, and everybody did their job.
Yeah.
And Ernie Hudson was also a welcome addition to the group. And I thought it was excellent. The conclusion was ridiculous, but it was fine based on the context of the film. And in comparison to 2016, I won't go too deep. It was a cash grab, man. A cash grab with no soul. As I watched this film, I saw nothing. I was looking at just this corpse being, fiddled in front of my face. And it hurt me to hear people laughing, just dying laughing. So it was a reverse of the original film. So if you guys want to look at it in a unique context, this new Ghostbusters, if you go into the film thinking that way, that the film is actually like this reverse parody of the movie, it's kind of genius. Yeah. That's the only way you can get through it without being pissed.
Exactly.
And that's my final thoughts, man. Don't see it.
That's exactly what I wanted to say at the end of that.
Just say everything I just said again.
Exactly. But I'm going to end it on that note.
I recorded myself. I could just play it back and say that you said it.
Hello, I am Mark. What I want to get to now is another, speaking of the paranormal in some sense, I wanted to get into this one article I read on what was trending on a couple of Yahoo's site, and what was trending on Facebook a couple days ago. NASA responds to rumors that it cut its live video feed during possible UFO sightings. And I've seen a lot of YouTube videos that have been validated that there were several instances where NASA cuts the video feed during its live view of outer space. There's a link on NASA's website where you can actually view outer space from one of their satellites.
Yeah. So if you want to get drunk with your buddies, put it on your big screen, you can watch space.
And NASA has actually been quoted, I don't know, representative of NASA, but NASA itself as an entity.
The building of NASA.
Nick NASA, yeah, is quoted in saying, a representative, that they've never seen a UFO in the popular sense. So not only do half-ass admit that there has been UFOs around, but we've seen UFOs, but not in the popular sense. What the hell? How do you answer it but not answer it?
That's politics, baby.
It's hard to unsee UFO footage when you it's hard to unsee this,
right?
And we've seen footage of these live feeds where you see an actual space anomaly ejecting out of Earth, appearing in front of Earth, appearing over it,
flashing and everything,
and then all of a sudden, we're sorry. NASA will be right back after these short messages.
We're sorry, NASA's down.
You have to remember is that the U.S. government does not have disconnection issues. They will go out of the way to get the most supreme version of the internet.
It is government level
connection. The best. You have the most impressive engineers, the most impressive space scientists.
Yes.
And all of a sudden your feed gets cut conveniently.
And they say it's due to technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it, Rick, you kicked the modem. Are you fucking kidding me?
Kid with the broom real quick. You'll get it running again.
Like, let's just be honest.
Some guy spilled his coffee on the fucking keyboard.
Damn it.
Holy shit, this coffee's hot. Oh, damn it, the feed's up. Hold on, let me get back onto this.
Now, okay, that's fine. If they want to say that, you know, whatever they're trying to do, maybe they're just trying to protect national security, like you said. But they obviously saw something and said, turn it off.
How many times will it take for America to be desensitized to this national security bullshit?
I don't know, dude. And I think really what they're saying is they don't think that human beings and humankind is strong enough to handle this shit. That's what it is.
Why are we considered the weirdos? Because we actually see this crap on a daily basis.
It's right there. Look at it. You know, like, because I saw the original footage because some fucking weirdo out there, there's a ton of people that just stream it. While it's streaming, they recorded it.
Yeah.
So they recorded it.
Just in case they get something.
Just in case
I love it. Those guys, you guys are American heroes.
Of course, that footage is what leaked, which sparked the controversy. So I watched it for sure. And, of course, it's all gone now. Try to look for it. It's been axed.
No.
So I actually was blessed to see this footage. And the dude caught it. It shows it's this white flashing object.
Yeah.
And it's moving faster than the orbit of planet Earth. So, come on, based on how the Earth is spinning, you're seeing this obvious object just start cutting, super fast into the, right when it cuts into the side of the camera, because it's going fucking fast, dude. They just cut it.
Yeah.
There you go.
How many eyes have to be on that before, oh shit, we got something?
I think they saw it. I mean, they were completely aware of it.
There might be and then that actually proves that there's no delay, because then they actually can't scrub the footage beforehand either.
But then again, is somebody watching this the whole time too? Is there's a guy in NASA sitting in a chair staring with his eyes, awake with the robot chicken device with his eyes.
Dave called off again, and I have to stay for his shift.
I just want to sleep. And then as soon as he sees, oh shit. Cuts it off. That's his job. Because I've heard this happen actually more than once.
Yeah.
This has happened more than once.
Yeah, there's been several instances.
Yeah, but I guess this is the one. We're sick of you cutting the connection. Because it is pretty suspicious. It's just too suspicious. But in this regard, I mean, let's just keep it simple. Because I don't want to go too deep. We'll just say this. That's fine. They can cut their footage. They need to lie to people. There we go. They have to do it. Because if people, aliens, they're not going to go to work the next day, and plus, there is so much more footage. Way better footage.
Yes.
They use different cameras. People have infrared cameras catching way better stuff.
Even the older footage outside, even NASA footage from the 1980s, where they're actually trying to set up that satellite in the sky. I forget what, not a satellite, but
sky. So specific.
There's a space base that I forgot about.
Space base. That's specific.
Where there's a Russian space base with an American space base.
American?
Shut your mouth. But there's footage of actual discs being shown in the background while the astronauts performing maintenance.
Right.
And then all you hear on that footage, Dave, did you just see that object protruding out of the sky? Yeah, we saw that. It's just, yeah. What can you say? What is a guy going to say? Oh yeah, that's a tetrahedron from the Zelnor galaxy.
Oh yeah,
that's Bill.
They're good guys.
That's Bill from Galaxy 12.
He just hit us with some fuel real quick.
The question goes into that like a trail of thought, where what is going on outside of the Earth? What the hell, man? It's still. Even with you and I actually knowing, being a little familiar with UFO,
information,
things, it's just, it still boggles me. I'm still left in the unknown. I probably only know, 2% of what the rest of what NASA knows as far as classified information goes.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not mad at NASA for doing what they did.
They have to do it. And you're right. I just get upset.
To what we're discussing, it's NASA needs to be smart about this, because there are people that laugh at Ghostbusters 2016. I don't think they'll be able to handle the fact that there's like real alien life. That's
always
on a consistent basis.
There's always a shitty movie to like test like the base audience of America.
They were going by the reaction of signs, and based on how freaked out people were, they're okay, yeah, we're not going to tell them.
Did they laugh during the Ghostbusters 2016 movie? Yes, they did.
Don't tell them.
They're not ready yet.
It's fake. Just tell them it's fake. So I mean, because we'll go into detail with that kind of stuff maybe in another one. But in this case, in regards to this, hey, do your thing, NASA. We understand, but don't be so fucking obvious. Unless it was like, something that was like potentially too much.
Yeah, if you kept the feed rolling and, if someone said, oh, that was something, it was like, well, you could have probably doctored it. I don't know. Like,
yeah, or you could have just like said, yeah, no, honestly though, they could have took an easier route and just said, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
That's an alien ship. Nah, you're dumb. There we go. Or that we're doing a test. Yeah. We did a test run with one of our satellites just to see if we can push it to go faster than it's ever gone and stuff like that. Trying a new fuel source. You can say anything.
You just need a good guy with a gift of gab.
Right. Because how often do you see a dude on the corner and a cop comes by and he's going, I'm not selling drugs! Like, no one's going to do that. That's basically what they did. They snitched on themselves, essentially.
Exactly.
So, like, it's just, I don't understand why NASA did it. Maybe, maybe that little dot that came on screen before it cut was just, like, one part of it.
For them,
like something way bigger than...
I know, yeah. Like, it's all camouflage. That was the only part that was left exposed. But what we really want to get to on this one is that for NASA, when NASA cuts the feed, that means...
It says the internet cut off. Like, it's some basic
for technical difficulties, no, that just doesn't happen. You have to understand that they probably have, like, the best kind of internet available, the best kind of technology available to prevent bullshit like that from happening.
Exactly. Seriously. So, I mean, but, let the casual individual receive this information and understand it as truth, and that's fine. But I'm sure a lot of smarter individuals will look a little bit further into it and go, okay, whatever. Mm-hmm. But at this point, we don't need that footage. There you go. We don't need it. There's way more footage and better footage. There is just straight up like, this dude had the perfect camera at the perfect angle and saw everything.
Okay, so to go on that point, what would you think would be the most convincing event that would have to happen for everyone to believe that there's actually extraterrestrial life either observing us, or like how obvious would a UFO have to act in order for people 100% around the globe to be convinced that there is extraterrestrial life? You design it yourself. Just make the scenario.
Recreation of the Independence Day scene with White House.
Fuck.
First thing they do.
Wow.
Okay. They're real.
Yeah.
There we go. No, in all honesty, all bullshit aside, no, there's nothing. I don't think that there'd be anything that can convince a person footage-wise. There's no footage that a person could see that would make them go, that's real. Because I've seen some like legit footage, like, all right, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
And I'll read the comments and I'll go, it's obviously After Effects, or that's Premiere. Yeah. You just edited that in.
That's a plasma effect.
I'm like, dude, that shit is
That's Aurora Borealis. Yeah. Like, it's not even in fucking Alaska.
That's a clip from Star Trek. You're an asshole. Like, it's fine. But I just think you have to see it yourself. And even if you saw it yourself, you deny it. It's too much. It's too strong of a concept that will shatter your understanding of everything you know.
You know what movie actually did, and I'm gonna actually give you a plot from a movie that actually would be the most convincing way an alien race would become apparent to everyone on Earth.
Okay.
It's like this. Do you remember the Man of Steel?
Oh, absolutely.
General Zod, his character transmits on every single screen on planet Earth.
Yes.
The Times Square screen, our cell phone screens. He interrupts he makes TVs turn on.
Right.
And he actually comes live on screen and tells you, like...
It is what it is, fam. Prepare.
Like, that has to happen. Because what are our Americans on all the time? Their cell phones.
Right.
Everyone else across, like, China, Japan, Russia, everywhere. People are going to be on their phones. And that would be the ultimate way to just do it.
Well, here's my answer.
That'd be the best impression for someone.
Here's my argument for you. Hackers. That's all. Like, seriously,
but that's a massive hack.
But they could. Come on, dude.
To make TVs turn on too?
Yeah, that's what I'm. Look, the government.
You're talking about the cover up.
Yeah, the cover. There will be a cover up so quick. Oh my God!
No. Listen,
I just want to share with the American people that we are under a mass hack attack.
Hack attack.
And unfortunately, we were back in service. Do not worry about, I can see it, and they would probably pull it off, and people would believe it, and any following transmission wouldn't work. Even if the aliens said, we're serious, we're really coming. I don't know. I personally think that people are one. They would be in a strong denial. It wouldn't work. People go insane.
A big blanket of a cover up. That is like covering the whole world in a big blanket and saying, all right, go to bed. You just saw something crazy. Just go get your ass to bed.
Wake up in the morning.
Here, take a swig of this whiskey and you'll be right out.
That would be it, though. That definitely could be it.
There would have to be a cover up, but I mean, I'm talking
like technology that's off and all this TV, and a TV that's not even plugged in. Just...
Well, all right. Let me to close off this point. Okay. Let me tell you a story that I've read on a story that I saw in a documentary. All right. So, just to tell you how much of an impression this would have on anyone, if if you see a UFO, that kind of. I'm going on that type of situation here. So there was this one indigenous island that was off the coast of Hawaii. They never saw a plane before. Ever, no, a plane has never went across their island ever. So during their attacks of Pearl Harbor, they see planes going over their island. Then a documentary crew comes to their island. They're welcomed. They're just flabbergasted by all the technology that they have because it's a camera crew.
Right.
And keep in mind, this is the 1970s. After you're talking 30 years after.
Yes.
Guess what they worship? They have little wooden twig statues of these airplanes that they now worship as their gods.
Because they saw it one time.
Because they saw it once. From the one time to then, that is what they worship.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, that is a crazy impression of something
right.
to an indigenous island. You can even take it in the context of us, because we're not that primitive, but we're not that technologically advanced yet.
Right.
If we were super technologically advanced, we would honestly live to about 100 plus years, but we don't now.
Okay.
But with us, it can happen to be, like the influence of something like that can happen.
Right.
To where we're just like, well, this shit just happened. I'm an atheist now. Like something can happen like that.
Faith
to where
gone.
Yeah.
New faith beginning now.
Yeah.
That definitely would shatter worlds.
Yeah. So in the emphasis of national security and the emphasis of faith, the cover-ups may not sound so bad after all.
Right. Wow.
We'll take a quick commercial break on the Mark and Andre Show, the only film, entertainment, and conspiracy show podcast on Spreaker.com. We're going to leave you with the fresh instrumental that I had found the other day. Let's leave it at that with a quick commercial break on the Mark and Andre podcast show. We're going to be talking about the Suicide Squad and Y2K coming up next.
Go on a break, goddamn.
Welcome back to the Mark and Andre podcast show, the only film, entertainment, and conspiracy podcast show, conspiracy theory podcast show on Spreaker.com. I'm your host, Mark Flores. Alongside me is the co-host of the Mark and Andre podcast show, Andre Gaynor.
That's right.
The Mark and Andre podcast show is brought to you by our proud sponsor, Game Swappers. Game Swappers. Buy, sell, and trade your retro games and next-gen consoles. That's PS4 and Xbox One. You can come into contact with Game Swappers via Instagram at GAMESWAPPERS. That's GAMESWAPPERS. Game Swappers. Buy, sell, and trade. Keep in mind, guys, that if you do share any iteration of the Mark and Andre podcast show, Retro Collecting 101, or the Pay-Per-Review Wrestling podcast, all three shows are available on the Mark F podcast channel, 24/7 and on demand. You'll be able to get 10% off towards your retro game purchases at Game Swappers, or if you want to trade in your retro games, you'll be able to get 10% more towards your trade-ins. Simply take a screenshot, share it with the person working at Game Swappers, and then you'll be able to save 10% off or get 10% more towards your trade-ins. So it helps you out, helps me out with the share on the show, and it helps out Game Swappers with the sale.
Everyone wins.
Everyone wins, guys.
Everyone.
My friend Ali is actually coming out with a book called Restoring the Feeling. It's going to be available on ebooks through the Amazon bookstore. It's an actual... he describes it as a book. As a book, like a romance poetry book that is about. He just writes a lot of poetry that's involved with it, and about his journey as a teenage, like a young adult, mm-hmm. a young adult's adventures, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to make sure that people knew that I myself will get Restoring the Feeling, and I'll let you know how it is. But Restoring the Feeling by my man Ali, he is. It's actually available now through Amazon and Barnes & Noble as well.
All right, yeah.
As available as an ebook. So, yeah, young African-American man doing his thing.
Putting words on the page.
Putting words on the page. His own author.
Congratulations, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah, he's a very hard worker, man. That guy.
Shout out to Ali.
Shout out to Ali. Anyway, so I want to talk about this movie that's coming out. This movie might rival that of the Avengers. It might rival that of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's kind of taken an approach to like Guardians of the Galaxy, mm-hmm. but it actually has its own identity.
Yes.
Suicide Squad. DC is taking a big risk on this. And we need to actually like put emphasis on this, is that this is...
They need this movie.
Yes, they need this movie.
DC's been flopping. Batman vs. Superman was their attempt at getting at the Avengers. Ha!
Yeah. It has tremendous potential because this is an all-villain cast.
Yes.
This is a bunch of villains going in to dethrone whoever the antagonist is. Mm-hmm. And they have to do it. And they have to get it done.
Yes.
But if they fail, they get thrown under the bus. But if they are successful, there's a form of amnesty for it.
Yes. And I mean, the promotion for this film is pretty wild right now.
Very crazy.
I feel like they're putting a lot of eggs in this basket. They're seeing if this is a success, then DC can finally follow through with some heat. They'll finally have a foundation to set their movies on. Mm-hmm. Because the Dark Knight series that worked, mm-hmm. but I have no other examples of anything that really wowed me from DC. So
no, definitely not. I could definitely agree with you because Green Lantern was supposed to be good, but turned out being shit. And then we also had Batman vs. Superman, the first, and the Man of Steel. The Man of Steel was actually pretty good.
Yes.
But Batman vs. Superman was built up to these expectations, to these heights to that of like Mount Everest. Yeah. Like this was the trailer.
This is the Avenger killer.
The trailer started off a year and a half ago before the movie came out.
Yes. And the teaser drove people crazy.
Yeah.
And we get the film and we're not talking about it anymore.
No,
it's forgotten.
Yes. So now, what are the good things I could take away from what I see in the Suicide Squad? Because I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go see it as soon as it comes out. I think that this movie is a great approach to what Guardians of the Galaxy did, but this is an all-established villain cast. What the Guardians of the Galaxy did was actually the anti-hero cast. No, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc,
Will Smith.
Deadshot.
Will Smith.
A.K.A. Will Smith. These are all villains. Mm-hmm. These are all certified villains in the DC universe.
Mm-hmm. And
I have a feeling it's going to work.
Well, you said they reshot some scenes, right?
They reshot some scenes in the trailer and in the film to make it more of like a less darker tone movie. Because in the trailers that you see, the more comedic scenes in there are the only scenes available in the movie that are actually funny.
And I think we're going to get like a grimy ass movie with a lot of murder.
Man. I hope so.
I think they're actually taking the momentum from Deadpool. So whatever Deadpool did, it took. I mean, this isn't a rated R film, right? This is still PG-13. Because remember, they're trying to get money.
I kind of want to. Yeah, I think it is going to be. I want to double check that.
Okay.
But you know, a matter of fact, if you can just see what we can do, because I can't use my phone since we're using the phone for the podcast.
Let me check.
But to go on what you say, yeah, if it's PG-13, it could grab a bigger audience. If it's rated R, you're limiting yourself to like how Deadpool was. But to counter with that, even Deadpool was a high-grossing film. It's the highest-grossing R-rated film. It beat Passion of the Christ.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because if you guys didn't know, Passion of the Christ was actually it was the highest R-rated film.
It is PG-13.
PG-13?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So there's, they're grasping, they're going to be grasping an audience now.
Yeah, but they're trying to grab, they're trying to scoop as many people as possible. It might be a slippery PG-13.
I could feel you on that one.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah, so...
All you don't have to have is like actual decapitations, and then you don't have to show... Actually, you could cuss as much as you want, but...
One F-bomb. You get one F-bomb.
Yeah, I think so.
So there's gonna be an ideal moment
a lot
where
of
they're gonna get
bullshit,
that F-bomb out.
a lot of... Literally, just a lot of that word, and... you can get away with some gore, but I want to say originally that it was going to be a rated R film.
I think it was, possibly.
Yeah.
But in this case, I mean, think of it from a monetary context. They gotta get this cash. Like
exactly.
They need to see that these IPs are usable.
Yeah.
And Suicide Squad that's what they need.
Yeah.
They're gonna push it, and let's see what happens.
The trailer. It's funny to note, but the trailer. Watching the trailer, it's funny to know that Will Smith's star power is almost an afterthought to what this movie is.
I seriously didn't know it was him. I was like, that guy looks familiar. I swear to God, like, I'm dead serious. And I was like, oh wait, that's Will Smith. Will Smith is in this movie? Why?
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised to see him there. But he's. I didn't even care because the entire group is its own character.
Yeah, I want to see this ensemble cast actually become so. I want this to be successful. I kind of want to see this be so successful that they actually bring a sequel, because I mean the way Jared Leto's Joker looks.
Jared's letters.
Jared's Leto's
from the people that brought
Jared's
you the
Legos
brings you Jared's letters. Yeah, I think I heard Jared Leto's Joker is crazy. Like
there's a lot of people said that the boy grips and the electrical lighting people that weren't involved in some scenes actually came to see him shoot those scenes as the Joker because of how crazy it was. So, I
heard people were admitted to hospitals and psych wards after viewing this performance.
I could just imagine people just like going crazy.
Just is it him?
The few dialogues that I get from him is that he's taking the deep bass voice Joker and he's developing up the best he can.
Mm-hmm. I feel like he's blending every Joker that's been known on film and then adding his last.
What I like is that he's actually speaking a lot with his teeth.
Yes,
because
he wants to smile.
Well, yeah, even in that, but he actually has silver fronts.
Yeah,
all silver teeth, so he's not talking a lot like this.
Yeah,
like I like that, man. I like this approach of the Joker because it's going to be something we haven't seen, and it's going to be a great take, because now you have to, when you play the Joker, you come a long line. Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger's blockbuster Oscar-winning performance.
Yes. So, come on, for them to even attempt to put Joker in another film, that's kind of crazy.
I actually got in an argument with someone because I'm so passionate about the success of this film. They said that the Joker looks weird. The Joker, like this crappy biased opinion about how the Joker looks is going to negate this person from actually viewing the movie.
That's superficial as hell.
And yes, exactly. And I was just like, well, fuck. Did you ever see the first? Did you see the Tim Burton Batman? Look how kooky that looked.
Yes,
that is in the same dimension of kookiness as this one, but it's more of a grittier take.
Right. Well, what about Dark Knight? When Dark Knight premiered, they had showed just some shots of Heath Ledger as his Joker.
Yeah.
And he got a huge backlash for it.
Yeah,
huge!
Because he didn't look like a clown.
What's up with emo? Why is he emo? Like, people were pissed about his appearance.
Oh, yeah.
And what do you know?
Shh. As soon as he did it, you could... Every time Heath Ledger talked in The Dark Knight, you could hear pin drops in the theater. Mm-hmm. And that's not a joke.
Right. At
all. This guy... stole that movie.
Right, there were so many people dropping pins in all of his scenes, and it was really frustrating.
Shut your... Oh my god. But he did, it's a tour de force performance this Heath Ledger did. So Jared Leto knows what competition he's up against. Mm-hmm. So that means, I'm not saying Jared Leto has to die 2 months, a week after this movie, a week before this movie comes out. He just has to put on a great fucking performance.
And I think he did. Remember, DC... they're desperate, so I hope they follow through with this, mm-hmm. and I hope this isn't also hype for Jared Leto's Joker, because there are other characters in this movie. Jared Leto might not be
as much played.
Yeah,
it has more. As much screen time as the others. I really think it's going to rotate around Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and the Joker.
Yeah, I really want to see the Harley Quinn actually,
mm-hmm.
Because she is this mirror of Joker's personality in a sense. I mean, her whole backstory, she went insane.
She got turned out by
basically.
Joker.
She went insane trying to figure him out. What's up with this dude? And before she knew it, she became like him and fell in love with him.
Yep.
It's like a Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, Mr. J.
Oh, yeah. So I believe that she will also be an excellent character, and I want to see her performance. I just hope they don't overly sexualize her.
You've seen the trailers, right?
Right, but I hope that she's not like, putting hands in places where Harley Quinn wouldn't put them. Harley Quinn is a ridiculous character, and her physique is secondary. It doesn't even matter.
Because even every iteration of Harley Quinn I've seen has all been animated, but she's still voluptuous animated, mm-hmm. But it's like it comes as an afterthought to her personality,
right?
Because her personality shines forward before I see anything else.
Yes, she's loony.
Having Batman in this movie, because Batman does appear in this movie, but that's even also an afterthought to these villains. Mm-hmm. You still have to figure these villains out. You still have this one samurai. See, I'm not familiar with the DC universe. I know the ins and outs of Marvel.
Right.
But
DC's just so boring.
With DC, it's like, I know the Flash, I know Batman, Superman.
That's it?
Aquaman, I don't want to know about.
Static Shock?
A Static Shock.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, as far as these villains go, I want to develop a relationship with them through this movie. Mm-hmm. And I want to get intrigued. Mm-hmm. So I hope that that's what this movie's going to do.
I believe it has the potential. I just hope that, I'm not watching trailers. I have not watched any trailers because Hollywood has the horrible, horrible issue mm-hmm. of giving away humongous plot points.
So, well, then how do you actually know?
I've seen the initial first trailer.
But so you don't delve into all the
in any recent trailers? I haven't watched any new
So you don't watch the reshoots and all the other...
I've seen the original trailer and the teasers. I think I've seen 3 trailers total. The
original trailer looks very sinister.
Yes.
And versus these ones, this one's all light colored and
wheels.
It's funny because you notice that the first trailers and the first poster for this movie wasn't dark. Right. But now I'm seeing neon green,
neon colors.
Now I'm seeing all this campy bullshit now. Then you could tell that they're building up to we need to attract as many people as we can.
Exactly.
I hope to see an R-rated cut of this then.
Maybe a director's cut or whatever.
Well, yeah, because they had to do reshoots.
So and like I said, I haven't seen the new trailers, guys.
Yeah.
But when we were at the movie theater recently, I saw the big poster or whatever. I was like, why does it look so goddamn it looks like candy, like they're covered in cotton candy.
Yeah.
And it's pretty and cute. And I'm like, aren't these guys evil, fucking
villains,
sinister, scary people? And I get the idea that they're trying to appeal to as many people as possible because they need all the revenue they can get for this film. If they hit it big with this one, then we're going to see a humongous breakthrough.
Yeah.
But
So, do you think an all-villain cast in today's modern film can actually work?
Yeah, because I think people are sick of the dun-da-da-da! Like, they're sick of people saving the day. I don't know why. People are inherently dark recently. It's a lot of dark times.
Yeah, I mean,
people like to see the bad guy win now.
Even in pro wrestling, same thing. A lot of marks, like people that are like for the wrestling and everything, they like heels.
Right. People want to see the bad guys win.
That's why people like Razor Ramon.
That's why people like the show Dexter. He's a serial killer, killing serial killer. He's killing.
Yeah.
But my point is, I feel like, this motif will work perfectly because we're going to see the bad guys do fun things. Because there's a moral code that superheroes follow. Justice League is going to murk everybody in a room. They have to think about that kind of shit. Yeah. Whereas I feel like Suicide Squad, their entire concept is, we want you to be nasty, dirty, fuck shit up, and get the job done. And that's what we're going to get with this film.
I kind of wanted this to be R-rated because imagine, if you read the package, the synopsis of this movie, the general rating that you're going to get from a mass voting system will be rated R.
Right.
Like villains, evil. If they're making a movie, it has to be rated R. Right. But due to the reshoots, it has to be PG-13.
Well, I mean, let them, like I said, DC needs it because they can't pull a Deadpool. They just can't do it.
I really thought Marvel wasn't going to be able to pull Deadpool off, but they did it, dude.
Man, that's another story, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Deadpool is going to ruin the Marvel film franchise because they're going to have to adjust to that success.
Imagine a rated R Avengers?
Rated R Wolverine. They're already talking about the next Wolverine.
Yeah, I hope so.
They're saying the next one's going to be rated R.
Dude,
so
I've needed to see Wolverine decapitate somebody for the longest time. I'm tired of seeing him all you hear is like shing, and the guy's like oh,
you hit the very part of my body that kills me. Oh,
yeah,
and he dies.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing that. I need to see decapitations.
DiCaprio, you need to see DiCaprio.
DiCaprio get decapitated. Get ready this summer. What happens in a world where villains reign supreme? But what happens when the Marvel Universe collides with the Suicide Squad?
Oh.
Killer Croc versus Captain America. And whoever else is
your first day as a trailer worker?
Wait, hold on.
Can I retake? I'm fired. No, okay, so this is my prediction for all you guys. I don't know the time frame. There will be a Marvel versus DC at one point. It might start in the comic book world first, and it's going to blow up everything. Or it's going to start as a film based on that film. It's going to blow up everything.
What's your... Okay, I'm gonna do. Let's do a scenario here to close off Suicide Squad. Here, I'm gonna throw a scenario at you, and then I'll give you my opinion after.
Okay.
What's your over under with the Suicide Squad's 3-day weekend? Friday, Saturday, Sunday gross box office.
Wow.
Would you say it's gonna be over $150 or
$150? Damn, that's a really bad.
Would it be over
$150? Just
$150 million? Not goddamn 100. 2 people, 5 people saw this movie. This movie is the worst bomb, and DC's down. DC's dead.
DC stocks are gone. They're
dead. So $150. Yeah, you better be fucking over that.
You said it with so much poise and understanding that you said $150.
Do you see the Suicide Squad going over $150 million, or do you see it going below $150 million for the opening weekend?
Opening weekend?
Yes, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Below 150,000.
150,000
million.
Shit, now you're fucking up. 150 million?
Yes.
Below it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll raise that and say it'll be over.
You think it'll be over? I think it'll be under due to the fact that people still. It's kind of like a Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
So people are gonna, the first weekend's gonna be kind of dry.
Oh, okay.
And then the reviews are gonna explode. They're gonna be positive, and then the following weekend they're gonna hit numbers.
What I think is gonna attract people, the Joker. The Joker is this character that will. Every iteration of Joker, everyone loves. Like diehard. What I mean is, diehard fans will watch him no matter what. Will Smith. You're gonna have the you're gonna have that audience there too.
Minorities, dog. Trying to be all.
You'll have a certain people that'll be there for Will Smith.
You might have a few people of melanin,
of dense melanin content. No, I mean so seriously, like Will Smith pulls an audience. Oh my god. Will Smith will pull an audience himself.
Right.
But then you'll have the after effect of DC diehards.
Mm-hmm.
Those three coming into play is very effective.
That is very effective.
Plus a bunch of those emo kids for Jared Leto.
Right. But okay, let's say that.
What band was he in?
I don't know. I forgot.
I forgot. I was about to say Three Doors Down. I'm like, that wasn't an emo band.
But 11 doors down.
So there's a lot. What I think the reason why it'll go over is because of that. There's a lot that not because of DC automatically, but now you have Joker diehards. Now you have Will Smith fans.
Will Smith fans and Joker diehards are on the same level, so possibly, yeah, you're right. But when it comes to DC, I think DC fans might have their trust kind of. They've possibly faltered in their trust after Batman, Superman. If you would have went to Reddit. It's just tears.
But that's not saying. But that's not saying it didn't gross a lot. It did.
It did. But that was with overwhelming hype. Suicide Squad still feels kind of like it's a chance. It's a gamble, and I'm proud of the gamble. So hopefully they didn't renege on their gamble and change it and make it kiddie.
Yeah.
With the reshoots.
We'll see, because I really think that this movie's been too hyped for it to not be 150 million at the opening weekend. But we'll see. We'll come back to it and we'll check it out. But for Conspiracy Corner, I wanted to get on this topic for a long time. I just had to actually compile more data for it. I myself and you were only about, 99. We're about 11 years old when Y2K happened. Right. But we both knew what was going on during this time. If you guys don't know, Y2K was this event that was supposed to happen as soon as January 1st, 2000 came around.
Yeah.
It was supposed to, if it wasn't supposed to be a normal ass day, the opposite end of this was Y2K was supposed to disable computer systems. Fucking airplanes were going to crash under the ground. Trains were going to derail. All of the data that's been recorded, but with simplistic dating software, was supposed to collapse.
Dating software,
so like dating, like actual, Tinder? Like inventory software, stuff like that was supposed to go awry, but it didn't.
Nothing happened.
But how close was it? It was extremely close to actually happening to actual catastrophe.
Well, how? Where's your evidence?
What I have is this. The way growing up during this time was really frightening, because people
were really scared.
It was the unknown. Mm-hmm. They were telling us, you know what, Y2K may not happen, but be fucking prepared.
People were buying like sheds and shit, right? Like anti-disaster sheds.
Yeah, because people thought that the U.S. Nuclear missile silos laid across America were gonna just launch up. They thought that it was going to be on some Terminator 2 shit, like where Skynet will disable all military arms and it will become self-aware.
And everything
everything was going to fuck up.
I never, even as a youngster, I was just like, why is everyone scared today? It was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And there was this ridiculous amount of tension. I remember this.
Yeah.
Everyone was frightened. Everyone was afraid.
Yeah.
And then... Like, they really thought, because no one considered New York time, because I was in California at the time, it's already been midnight in New York.
And everything's okay.
Everything's okay over there. So, what, this is our side. We're the ones that's going to get hit with I2K. I never understood it. Even as a young kid, I was just like, oh, well, I don't get it. We watched the ball drop right now, and nothing happened. So what are we scared of, Mommy?
The main issue was that some data computer programs and applications only had dates that went to 2 digits and didn't anticipate for the year 2000 for that same reason, because when you go from 1999 to 2000, you'll have 00.
Right.
So that led people to believe that some computer programs will anticipate that it's the year 1900 versus it being 2000.
And reset its clock.
Yeah, because remember, like, you saw, like, your some of your records, and you've seen double digits as your day versus it being actually laid out in 2000.
Yes, yes.
You know, so that was something that actually seemed logical to me because, you know, I've only seen systems like that work only in double digits. It was just what they wanted to tell you is that everyday objects weren't really affected. It was all being perpetuated by the media to actually spread fear. It's like,
but why? What was the point?
Because not a lot of people knew what I think people were getting scared about was that what if some systems fuck up and cause like an actual chain effect to everything else. You know, that's the main thing. Like, what if, like, okay, electricity is okay, gas is okay, but what if the water system's dated? Because the water system's been around since the 1900s and predates a lot of the systems. Like, what if, like, old valves don't activate, there's...
nuclear power plants or something ridiculous.
Exactly, and it would cause a chain effect. That's the only really main worry, is that if something doesn't work, this is going to affect that, which in turn affects this, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Survival supplies shot up dramatically during this time.
Yes.
I mean,
people spent a lot of their fucking money. Like,
we weren't prepared. We were just like, oh, fill that big barrel up with tap water. I think we're all right. Leave it in the sun. That is not what you do when it comes to survival at all. You do not leave big fucking barrels of water in the sun in a corner of the house. We'll
live off of that.
Yeah, one big jug.
And we're going to have to split it for the rest of our lives.
So on your end, when you were younger, what did you take any precautions or anything during Y2K?
I just wore more clothes for the cushion.
Of the fucking nuclear fallout? Just in case the nuclear blast hits me, I'm going to be padded up with another jacket. I'll be fine.
I'll have another jacket on. It's fine. I'm good. No, in all seriousness, I don't recall us taking any action. It's funny because I think Mom was kind of like, fuck it. I don't got time. I don't got time to die. That's basically what it was. It was like, we're going to enjoy this one. And then I just recall being younger, even still understanding, like, okay, we're watching the New York ball fall, right? That's a 3-hour difference.
Yeah.
Nothing happened over there. So
what the hell?
Can I go to sleep now? You know, like, and I do remember the panic, though. I do remember the countdown, feeling like it's the last countdown of my life, which was dumb. I'm mad at myself for falling into the propaganda, but I do remember the countdown, like 10, 9. I'm like, and my heart is beating like a motherfucker.
Oh my god, no!
This is 2. Whoa, shit! And nothing happened. It was all good. So. And then the next day, I'm like, well, maybe it's delayed. Maybe it could still go down. You know, like, we're just...
Maybe it's delayed. Maybe they meant 1 o'clock. Yeah.
But nothing happened.
With that being said, I remember having the VHS, the Y2K preparation VHS narrated by Leonard Nimoy.
What the hell?
Yeah. So he's all like, Y2K, in preparation for Y2K, you have to, prepare for the unknown. And he, like, goes in this little, like, you could tell there's the same mannerisms he's done as Spock from Star Trek. God. And it's just like, fuck, Leonard, like, you are selling me right now. Like, I'm hearing Galvatron from the Transformers movies, but dude, you are really selling me on this Y2K shit. Like, you really make it seem like it's gonna happen, like, right now. Forget December 31st, 1999 at 11:59.
It's about to happen.
Going on to January 1st, 2000. It's going down now. He tells you to be prepared, like, be prepared for anything. It's good to be... He was basically selling a big commercial for anyone that was plugged into this VHS. Like, there was this guy that sold a book for preparation. There was this guy that sold, like, big jugs to get shipped out.
Wow.
Like, it was nothing but a plug for survival kits.
And, I wonder how much money a lot of people made around that period of time.
I'm still living off of Y2K preparation money. I never made money in this military surplus store before. But damn, during Y2K, I could have retired.
I was the man.
I was the man.
I do recall the year 2000 actually being a very interesting year, though. Yeah. I was just like, 2000. It's so... That's that ideal year that sounds so futuristic.
The year 2000.
Yeah. Everything in regards to cartoons or whatever, it was in the year 2000.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was really cool that we were finally here. And now look at us. We're in 2016.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shit. But when it first originally, 2000, when that hit, I was, over, after kind of going over the trauma of being afraid of dying some death I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
we chilled, and then I was like, oh, it's the year 2000. How cool.
After the countdown, I ended up looking out towards the window to see like the
if
sign.
Anything's falling?
To the sign of this gas station, like, because there was a gas station that was nearby, and I looked out, and I saw the sign was still lit. I was like, all right, we're good. I can go to bed. No Y2K here. But, I mean, it's, you know,
it's regional.
It made it seem like it was really close. Like, there was a big media scare. There was a big, like, is your city Y2K safe? More at 11. God, like, talk about for the sweep for the Friday to get you in to actually tune in. Are you going to die on Y2K? More at 12 o'clock. And after Sports Follies. Like, shit, man. Like, I want to stay tuned for Sports Follies, but I also want to know if I'm going to die.
Right.
Are you going to live after December 31st, 1999? Stay tuned.
Way to be prepared. Like, that's so scary.
Coming up on Jerry Springer. You were cheating on me during Y2K.
I thought we was going to die.
Jerry.
And it's really unfortunate because that's just a great sign of the media manipulating people. And if you like, I wish there was a lot of footage we could have checked. We probably looked at a documentary or something for Y2K. Because it was mass hysteria for no reason.
I watched that documentary, actually. Okay. I wanted to tell you is that Leonard Nimoy's like opening segment of this Y2K video. A lost, mysterious island simply disappears in the middle of the night. That civilization is known as Atlantis. And I'm like, okay, what are you associating this? Like, he was basically saying, like, Earth is so technologically advanced, and it can, Earth is kind of like Atlantis. Because,
it'll suffer the same fate.
Yeah, you don't know what Y2K can do, so it might suffer the same thing. The same bullshit happened during the Mayan calendar.
Oh my god.
Dude, in 2012, I'm like, okay, I kept telling people, I'm like, look,
we already did this.
Do not trust a dead civilization's calendar to tell you that your time is going to end.
Plus, their calendars didn't adjust for things like leap years and all these additional.
It's like, come on, man! Like, 2012, dude. 2012, man. It's time. We're gonna go.
We're gonna die. Dude, like, how are we gonna die? A meteor, bro. A meteor's coming. It's gonna take
Nibiru, dude. Get out of here, Nibiru.
Cthulhu's coming, man.
Azul from Ghostbusters. From Ghostbusters.
That one was actually worse because I remember there were a ton of Christian groups. Like, the rapture's coming.
Yeah.
They were, like, selling their homes.
Blood moons.
They were selling their homes.
Yeah.
Giving their homes away and, like, throwing all their stuff and just going to, like, a hut. They get a hut and they just waited for
nuclear fallout shelters.
Come on, man. And then when 2012 hits and nothing happened, they had to go back home, but they sold it. Like,
the most simplistic approach you could take to these situations next time a Y2K or I bet you in 2099 people are going to be like, oh, Y3K. We got to prepare because our dating system doesn't accommodate for the year 3000.
Right. Or
buy supplies.
Based on this meteor we researched 40 years ago, it should be hitting Earth now. Like, they always have some type of meaning, or they've researched something in the past and it calculates till now or something crazy. Like,
I remember Unsolved Mysteries did that a lot. Mm. I remember one time they actually talked about a meteor coming to Earth. Mm. Is the Earth prepared for meteor ZX-29 coming in 1999? I remember looking at that in like 1994, watching Unsolved Mysteries. Like, it's only 5 years from now. And then blink of an eye, boom, 1999 hits. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that asteroid.
Telescope.
Waiting
waiting patiently,
man.
Like, oh shit.
That's the only, you know what? I'll get into that. I know we're supposed to be talking about Y2K, but it's like, we all know that shit didn't happen. But it's like, that was, the seriousness was all there.
Right.
It's for people that barely getting into Y2K, it was an actual serious thing. Mm-hmm. This thing wasn't this isn't your grandfather's apocalypse. This was some dead, diehard shit.
Mass hysteria.
Yeah. Not as much mass hysteria spiritually as 2012 had, but right. You're talking preparedness, we're talking
people were spending their money.
Exactly.
Buying like fortresses. Fortresses? Did I say fortresses?
Yeah, they were buying fortresses, dude. They were buying moats and fucking wooden fences and protecting their forts, dude. Fortresses. Yes, Andre. This is the 1700s where people need to protect their fortresses. So, to go on to what I'm going to say next is that this is an issue that we're never, ever going to prepare for. I don't think there's a weapons defense system for this issue that we have now. Mm-hmm. Meteor or asteroid prevention.
Let it be, man. That's seriously my response to that. If they said there's a meteor the size of Mexico. The meteor the size of Mexico and it's hitting in 24 hours. Like they just saw it, it's too fucking late. There's nothing we can do. 24 hours, fuck it. All right. I'm
at that point you can't do anything.
No, but people will try. I'll
dive to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, I'll get in my boat. Fuck it. No, I'm out.
I'll ride this motherfucker. I'll ride this wave.
It's gonna be me and Tanae. We're gonna have a Netflix binge and go out like G's. I don't see the point.
You know what? I've seen Point Break. I think I would ride that wave. The tsunami it hits. I've never even done surfing. I have a boogie board.
You went.
Here I go. I'm out. Keep in mind these waves. If a wave, okay. I'll be seriously. This is my pseudoscience bullshit going on right now. But if a meteor the size of Mexico hits water,
yes,
this wave will be outside of the atmosphere.
Yes,
this thing will be. And I'll just die. I'll die in the vacuum of space.
You wouldn't even be able to withstand the pressure of it lifting you.
Here I go! Holy shit! And everyone's cheering me on.
Why?
For boogie boarding this fucking wave.
And then just, Mark!
Mark, wake up. You just had a bad dream, dude.
Get ready, it's coming.
Get ready, the asteroid's coming. You got your boogie board? Fuck! I gotta do this.
I could see you in the water. I could see the meteor hitting from a great distance, and I could see the wave coming, and it's coming, but it's taking about an hour to get to you because of distance sake.
Yeah.
And then it finally gets to you, and you make it probably up a third of that wave,
and then it just engulfs me because the velocity of the wave. Combined with it going so high, it's going to rip me to shreds.
Destroying your boogie board.
Destroying my body. But anyway, so...
That's all I can
Oh, we're going to watch Mark do this. Hey, on! That's it. That's the last thing you see of me or whatever. But
just a little dot of you.
So, we're only going to see... If a meteor strikes with such velocity and it hits water... It's going to hit water first, but then it hits the ground.
Right.
And then we're done. Yes. But if it hits ground first, that's it. I remember what I said a couple podcasts earlier, is that the only thing you'll see, the last glimpse you'll see, because you won't feel the pain, is that you'll just see the sky turn a purple hue because of how fast this thing's coming at you, and then that's it.
You wouldn't even be able to fathom what happened.
Exactly.
Because it could be coming that quickly.
That's it.
Just,
Yes, exactly. So people, you really don't have anything. There's nothing deep impact or Armageddon about this. If there's a meteor shower with big meteors, you'll have something to worry about. Because these are low scale.
Right.
But with a big, a goddamn freaking big behemoth coming at us, you don't have nothing to fear realistically because you'll be dead. That quick, just like that. It's not even a joke. It's in all seriousness, the velocity of it coming at the Earth, be too fast.
Just call it a day.
Just go watch Stranger Things on Netflix, which I got to tell you to watch. Stranger Things is incredible. I want to thank you guys for tuning into the Mark and Andre podcast show tonight. I know we kind of trailed off on a tangent at the last part, but I like to spread safety information about Y2K, about preparedness, and about impending meteor attacks that NASA doesn't want to tell you about. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. Every time you guys tune into this show, it makes me proud to do the work that I do to research these segments week by week, because after this show, I work on the new segments for every episode of every podcast that I do the next week. So it takes a lot of work, but I do enjoy doing it.
Hardworking man.
It's something I look forward to do every Friday. It's something I look forward to do with every podcast that I do, because I enjoy my hobbies, retro collecting, wrestling, and I like talking film, conspiracies, and entertainment with my best friend. So, other than that, you guys have a good night. I appreciate you guys tuning into the Mark and Andre podcast show. And please, if you guys can do me one favor for my birthday that just passed up a couple weeks ago, share the show.
Oh.
Do that. I want 28 shares for my 28th birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, right. I can get that. Anyway, I'm going to leave it to the floor for Andre Gaynor to do a shameless promotion on Lyricology 101.
Yeah. Yay! I just like to keep it short because you guys are done. You're tired. It's the end of the night. So I teach hip hop songwriting. I actually have a YouTube channel that focuses on just analyzing hip hop music and dissecting its lines, its rhymes, words, schemes, and basically how it's constructed, giving you the ins and outs of how some of these creators make these hip hop songs. I pick very good songs just to show you, the depth of a writer's skills. So if you guys are interested, you can check me out at youtube.com/Andre Gaynor. Once again, that's youtube.com/Andre Gaynor. And so far, so good, guys. The momentum has been crazy. I've gained almost 5,000 subscribers. I'm about to hit 5,000 in less than 3 months, which is crazy. That's incredible momentum. And if any of you guys have, if you guys checked out the show, please leave a comment and let me know. And thank you so much because it's just been crazy. We just recently did the Eminem breakdown, and that's been blowing up. That's doing very well. And also I did Andre 3000, MF Doom, just all the greats, and I'll cover more in the future. So if you guys are interested, check it out. And all of my other social media will be attached to my YouTube channel. So once again, that's YouTube/Andre Gaynor, youtube.com/Andre Gaynor. So thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you guys next week. We love you so much. So have a beautiful day or night or afternoon, evening, whatever time frame that you're living in at this moment. We love you guys and take care. Bye.